Probably a couple of things on the log today. The big thing I was going to talk about is stolen vehicles. We've had 6 stolen vehicles just since midnight, and nothing concentrated in one area, but the one similarity between all of them is they were left running. People started the cars to warm it up and came outside and their car was gone. So this is something that we see when weather gets cold. This isn't anything new. We've talked about this in the past, but people just need to make sure that if they are going to start and warm up their car, keep an eye on it, have a second set of keys, have a remote start. There's a lot of different options, but leaving the car running with the keys in it is the worst option that you can have. It's pretty easy for anybody to walk along to know that the car is running. Obviously, when it's cold out, you see the exhaust. They know that nobody's there. It's just too good of an opportunity, and they hop in and take off with the car. So just a reminder, even though it's cold, make sure you're taking some precautions. You're not leaving your car unattended. That goes also for drop off at like daycare. We've seen that too in the past, where parents go in with the child, they come out and their car's gone. Stopping at a convenience store, running inside quickly, they come out and the car is gone. Make sure that you're not leaving your car running and unattended. That's really what it comes down to.
I think most people are going to say, oh, I was just in there for a few seconds.
That's all it takes. It's literally a few seconds. We've seen sometimes 15, 20 minutes that if they're getting ready in the morning, they leave the car running outside and then they're surprised that it's gone. But those short-term ones, we had one guy that ran inside, I think, to buy a candy bar a couple of years ago, and walked in, and this was caught on video, but as soon as he walked inside the business, somebody jumped right in his car and drove off. So, I mean, we're probably talking 15 seconds maybe that he left it unattended before it was gone. It doesn't take long, and it's real easy to do that. Make sure people are locking their cars, taking the keys with them, but certainly don't leave it running unattended.
Do we know if we've been able to recover any of those vehicles?
Not yet. There was, I think, one of the reports they had they saw it, but it took off at a high rate of speed, and so they didn't chase it. But I don't think we've had any recovered at this point. And I think I touched on that, but it's happened all over. One of them was an apartment complex. The others were residential areas, but nothing concentrated in one certain area.
All over the city?
All over, yep. Okay. And just to kind of piggyback along that, our stolen vehicle numbers are actually down a little bit this year. So, I mean, we're trending in the right direction. We've, I guess, comparing January to November from last year to this year, we're down just about 250 less stolen cars than what we saw last year, which is good news, but we'd like to keep that trend going in the same direction. So not as much of a problem. We're still seeing, I mean, I think we've got around 12 or 1,300 stolen cars this year. It's still a pretty high number. We're doing better than what we've done in the past, but we want to keep that trend going down. Robbery, that was one that happened just before noon yesterday. This was near 2nd in Minnesota. We had a woman that saw a guy in the parking lot basically checking cars, and he had a gun with him. She got into her car, and as she was starting to leave, the guy came and approached her in her car. He opened up the door before she was able to drive away. At this point, he didn't have the gun with him, but he told her that something to the effect that he needed the car. She got out of the car and ran to the building. She had the keys with her. And then he was checking other cars in the area when police showed up. He did have a gun with him. It was in his pocket. Turns out that gun had been reported stolen out of T. He was arrested for robbery, aggravated assault, possession of stolen property, and committing a felony with a firearm. And do you want his name? Last name? I pulled up here. Is Holder, Holder. First is, I'll spell it Jasir. Middle is Nayquan. And he's 20 from Sioux Falls. That's pretty much all I have. The aggravated assaults were domestics. Burglary was a garage. Everything else is reports. Any questions? Any other questions? Okay, thanks.